All right, looks like we're live.
Hello, 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 everyone. We are live today. We are coming to you guys today with some very important information. We're getting a lot of clients who have been asking us about the Corporate Transparency Act, and we've been getting a lot of questions. And we wanted to come live today so that we can update our clients and other members of the business community like ourselves on what is happening with this new reporting requirement for business owners. Okay. And so I'm Juanita, and I'm here with my business partner, Terry. We are owners of Swift Tax and Accounting together. And then I also have another firm, JIT Tax, that I'm here also representing. So if you guys that are joining us from our firms, we are happy that you're joining us and very excited to share this information with you. Terry, would you like?
Yeah, so hey, good evening to all my Swift Tax clients, business owners, as well as our staff that are online with us today. Welcome, and I hope that this session will be informative for you guys also to learn about this new act. So I guess I can get the question started.
Yeah, let's
So,
go.
what is the Corporate Transparency Act, Ms.
So
John?
the Corporate Transparency Act is actually was enacted by the U.S. Treasury Department. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Unit wanted to put this act out, and it says corporate, which is very interesting because it actually affects more small businesses than it does large businesses, and we will get into that a little bit more later. But that's basically what the Corporate Transparency Act. It's it's an act that is going to require business owners to report business owner information every year.
Okay. Cool, cool. So I mean, it looks like it's new to us this year, but when actually was this act passed by Congress?
So actually, it was passed back in 2021. There was a lot throughout the year. There was a lot of back and forth over it, but it actually has been passed since 2021. They have been pushing it back, each year on when the requirement was filed. We
Hmm.
haven't actually heard a lot from FinCEN in the last couple weeks, so it's also very sure that they might actually push it back again. But as far as we know, it is going to start on January 1st of 2024, the requirement.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
great, great. And so Congress gives us all these laws every year. We hear all these things that happen, and at the end of the day, we ask ourselves, why is it important?
So this law is important because of the department it comes from, which is FinCEN, is really concerned about a lot of fraud. So fraud, money laundering, tax evasion. Over the past couple of years, they have seen an increase of businesses doing, well, new businesses. So this is like
Hmm.
shell corporations, new businesses that have been doing a lot of fraud. So it's very interesting because I think that people are kind of in a fray about this because they think that the IRS is going to obtain some type of new information about them, or it's going to be public information. So this is not public information. Someone won't just be able to go and fill out, find your information online from this department. This department is a very secure department who is going to hold your information and use it when they need to use it. And most of the time, they're going to use it for any type of financial crimes, funding terrorism, different types of crimes like that. And one of the reasons that they wanted to enact this is because what happens is right now, when you report your business information, you're reporting it to the state. And by the time they get that information, or the lack of information that is there, by the time they want to, basically go after someone for crimes they've committed,
Hmm.
they can't find the person, or it takes them a lot longer. So what they want to do is they want to centralize the information so
Hmm.
that when, or if or when something happens, they can get to it a lot faster. So some of this is also about security of our, government, our systems, banks, things like that, to provide some security.
Okay, great. That's good to know. So, I mean, we're business owners, right? Does this impact us as a LLC, as a S corp, or what if I'm just a sole proprietor? Am I required? Am I impacted by this law? And what if I have a nonprofit? I mean, are there any businesses that are exempt from participating in this act?
That's a great question, Terry. So the interesting thing is that there are 23 exempt types of organizations. Most of them are going to be large organizations like um, government agencies. Nonprofits are actually exempt. Uh, um, Sole proprietors. So if you, for those of you that don't know the difference between a sole proprietor and other businesses, a sole proprietor is when you are using your name and your social security number as your business. You're doing business as yourself, or you have obtained an EIN number in lieu of your social security number, and you're using that number. That number is already linked to your social. So they already have all the information they need, because your social security is actually the main contact. So there's a direct link to the owner if you're a sole proprietor. So um, they don't need you to report your information because they already have it. Um, if you want to look on the FinCEN website, there's also a host of other exempt, some licensing agencies also. If you have a certain license with the state or federal government, you will be exempt. That includes some lawyers, some CPAs, different things like that. And again, the reason why they're exempt is not because the IRS is not looking at them. It's because their requirements for their license already requires them to submit business owner information. They're already submitting their personal information every
Mhm.
year to obtain their licenses. So therefore, they are exempt. However, LLCs are not exempt. Any corporations, small corporations, are not exempt. Um, if you have multiple businesses, now this is a big one. Please understand that this has to be done for every business you have. So it's not like, okay, I'm the owner, I have several businesses, I can just go on here, put my information in, all of my businesses are going to come up, and I can just say, yep, I own all these businesses. If it worked like that, that would be awesome, right? Then we could just get in the system. You would think in 2024 that
Mhm.
would, you would be able to do it. But unfortunately, that's not how this is going to work. You will
Okay.
have to report under each business. Okay.
Well,
And under each business, you will even need to report businesses that are, if you're not using them, then you need to close them down, because if you don't close them down before this gets enacted, or
mhm.
during when the requirements end, then you can be fine. We'll talk about what happens if you don't do it, but just remember
Mhm.
that you have to do it with every business you have.
Every business. Wow.
Mhm.
So that's going to be quite a big headache for people who own 10, 15 LLCs, especially real estate investors who have an LLC for each property that they own. So I can imagine the headache this is going to create for them.
Mhm.
But I mean, what information does a business owner need to submit to to be compliant? What information do they actually need to submit?
Mhm. So let me just back up a bit. The type of business owners that
Hmm.
actually need to submit their information is going to be anyone who owns 25% or more of the business. Or this is another thing, someone who also has control, and or someone who has control of the business. So it only has to be, at this moment, it only has to be one person that either owns 25% or more, or has control over the business. They will need every year, they will need to fill out this business owner's information report. And on that report, there's three main components of the report. One of them is going to be obviously the business owner information. And you're required to put in your identification information, your name, your social security number, your personal address. You will also have to upload a copy of your photo identification. It has to be a government photo identification or passport. You know, they'll list the type of identification you have to. If any of you guys know, if you've ever registered your business with the state or with the IRS, it is not required to upload a copy of your ID. So you can open up a business at this time without photo identification. So this is really new, obviously, because now they will actually have photo identification of a business owner or a controlling party. So that is going to be one of the components of this reporting. The second component of the reporting is going to be your company information. So you will have to fill out, information on your company, the physical address. You will not be able to use PO boxes. We are learning for business information on any of it. So for the business, for the business owner, and then also the third component is going to be who is filing the report. So there will be a section for someone filing the report. And the reason why this is important is because a lot of times when businesses are doing their annual filings, they use third parties like ourselves, JIT or SWIFT, to file their reports. So this is the same here. If you're using a firm, if you're using your lawyer, if you're setting up your entity, then you would fill out the part that says who is filing this report. So you will also be named on the business information in case they need to contact you as well.
Okay. So I know that for a lot of our clients, the biggest question is, where do you actually go to file this? Can you do it on your own? Do you go see a CPA? What's the process to actually go file it?
So if you're watching us from YouTube, then there is a reference in the comment section that tells you where to go, fincin.gov /BOI. If you go there, starting January 1st, 2024, they will have a link for you to start entering your information. And if you are a business who was started before January 1st of 2024, you have until December 31st of 2024 to submit your business owner information. And that's as of now. If they do go live and expect that to happen, it could be pushed back because it has been pushed back before. And there is some legal legislation around this now of people who are trying to stop this from happening. But if it does go live as of now, anyone who was in business prior to January 1st of 2024 will have until the end of the year to file. If you start your business after January 1st, then you will have 90 days. So all new businesses will have 90 days. And what we're going to do at our firm is just actually add this on to other annual filings. So most of you are very aware, if you have a business, that if you live in a certain state, you have to submit annual filings. So this would just be another requirement under your annual filings that you will normally have to do.
Okay. That's good to know. So, the biggest questions for our clients is, is this free? Or is there a fee actually? How would you answer that?
So most states have a filing fee every year, but FinCEN, as of now, so this is, as of now, there is no fee to actually file. So if you go on FinCEN and you file, there's no fee to file the report. However, if you do use third-party organizations, those third-party organizations may request, some type of service or process fee. but most of us can go on and file this ourselves if we choose to do so.
And with all these requirements, a lot of people sometimes, business owners have a lot of things they have to worry about. They have to run their business. Sometimes the administrative stuff kind of gets by them. So what happens if somebody just doesn't file, just forgets to file? What happens to them?
Yeah, so this is where this gets serious. Most people think the serious part of it is, oh, they're going to have my information, but that's actually, they already have your information. So unless you're trying to evade them, right? Like if you really want to evade them, then, or if you've had certain shell corporations opened, or in certain states where business owner information is not required. If you're those kind of businesses, then this might worry you a little bit more because you have been able to shelter your company information. But for most of us, where that's not the case, they already have, the information they're looking for. So what you should be concerned about is what happens if you don't file. So just understand FinCEN is a federal U.S. Department of Treasury organization, and they are saying that if you do not file, and they didn't give on, how they're going to actually go about, enforcing. But if you do not file, there's going to be a fine for each business, not for each business owner, for each business of $500 a day, not a month, not a year, not a week, a day past the deadline, and up to $10,000. So every day that goes by, you will be fined up to $10,000. So, if you have, several businesses, that could really add up. And also past that, it's a federal offense. So they're also saying that if you provide them with wrong information, if you intentionally provide false information, then you can be fined or you can even go to prison. Okay. So there is prison time that can be allotted to this if they find that you wanted to, evade this.
Wow. So it's important to be accurate, and for our clients especially to give us accurate information. So then
Yes.
how can our small business owners, what can they do to really stay compliant and and make sure that they follow the law in terms of this law?
So our clients, thank God they have us, because we will send out information like we do every year, letting them know, hey, it's time to, do your annual filings. We usually send something, just to say, to stay compliant with the state. You want to, have your annual filings done. And that helps. I'm sure there will be some information also on social media and things like that, reminding clients that they need to make sure that they're updating their information annually. Also, if you have a third party, then normally what happens is they already are doing some of the work for you. So then, they will be able to also file on your behalf if you're not filing. And you really want to update the information throughout the year as well. There hasn't been strict guidance on what happens throughout the year versus the annual requirements during deadline. But you technically, anytime something changes, information changes, you are required to update that information. So if you move, your office moves, you are required to update that information. So if you were to use a firm, one of the good things is they could just knock it out for all of your businesses at one time. But again, this is something that business owners could also do on their own.
No, great. I mean, I think I've learned a bunch, and I think our clients have learned a lot. I think from this session, and for those that are have more questions or maybe curious to know how we can help them further, definitely don't hesitate to drop us a line. Visiting our website or our Facebook page for Swift Tax and Accounting clients, and I'm sure for GIT clients as well. reach out to us and let us, help you guys navigate this new territory that we all are becoming familiar with. So I think those are the questions that I had. I don't know if you're taking live questions or not, but I'll give it back to you.
Sure. We're not taking live questions. However, if you do want to reach us, if you joined our link from YouTube, then you can look on the comments and it lets you know any contact resources. You can contact our website, JIT Tax, on Instagram, JIT Tax, as well as Swift on Facebook, Swift Tax and Accounting. And just shoot us a DM and you can put in there BOI or CTA, and that'll let us know that you're interested and we can put you on the list. The site hasn't gone live yet for you to fill out this information. Once that happens, we'll probably have webinars on it as things come in, as changes come in, and make sure that we're giving you the most updated information.
All right, great. Thanks again for doing this and keeping the public informed and our clients informed. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll talk to you guys in the new year. Tax season's coming up.
Yes. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.